Hey everyone, your designers are here. I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
We've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today, so let's get started.
Today is episode 182, Unique Nightstand Ideas.
The show notes for today's episode can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/182.
Yeah, so we're niching down to the nightstand because it's really important. If you don't have a good nightstand or you don't have a place to put your stuff at night, I think it can feel not so comfortable in your bedroom. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to have a traditional 3-drawer or 2-drawer with a shelf nightstand. There's a lot of ways to shake it up. And you know what? They don't even have to be symmetrical. They don't even have to match.
I'm glad you said that, Kelly, because we were talking about on the last episode, 181, Bobby and I are really in the process of, we've had our master bedroom painted and we had new floors laid and I have new curtains hung and have new dresser and lamps and a mirror on it. And I'm looking for bedding and I just ordered one nightstand for my side. But because we really switched,
Bobby gets no nightstand.
He doesn't. No,
I'm
he
sorry,
doesn't.
Bobby.
Because we switched where our bed was, and it just is a little too crowded. So we ended up.
I have the solution for you.
Well, we have a solution.
Oh, okay.
We ended up. We took a garden stool and put it by his bed. All he needs is a place for his phone and his glasses. And that's all he usually has there. Well, I have decorating books and magazines and hand cream and lip balm. And
well, it made sense. You needed a much bigger piece of furniture on your side of the bed.
And we switched sides, which we haven't done in 35
you can't
years.
Switch sides?
No,
you can't switch sides.
Well, hey, how can you even think of that?
It's like you moved to Australia.
No, you cannot do that.
Because I needed the bigger nightstand. And we have sconces.
It's not all about Bobby, is it? Oh.
He could sleep on a park bench, seriously. And he said to me, Yvonne, all night long, you kept like inching over. I said, because I was like drifting towards my side of the bed,
Okay. So, but that's my question to both of you. Now, wait a minute. When you go out of town, you're staying in a hotel. Do you sleep on the same side of the bed in the hotel that you do at home?
Same.
Yes, and I actually look at the room and I'm like, okay, so if the bed's the other way. Okay, so that means I have to go this way to really still be on the correct side.
I've been able
which side? All right, now wait a minute. You're facing the bed. Which side is yours, Kelly?
The left.
Oh my gosh, that's mine. Okay,
that's mine too. that was mine, not now.
What is the deal? Okay, so we can't all sleep in the same bed.
Anyway,
can happen.
Let's get back on topic. The garden stool really works great. Okay. It's small, it's tucked in. And it doesn't take up a lot of visuals. It takes up no visual space when you look at the room because it's, our bed is higher than the garden stool, but it's like a perfect little spot if you don't need a lot of room. And like us, you have sconces on the wall. We just put these gorgeous sconces on the wall, that give us great light. They're on a dimmer. They're really cool. So, he didn't need much. And I was trying to think, because he said to me, there's not enough room. And I said, I know, but we'll put something small there. And I took the garden stool from my living room, which is a beautiful sort of, it's metallic, but it's very dull, but it's beautiful. It's sort of a
You're talking about
color.
A ceramic stool, right?
Yeah.
Which are highly spray paintable.
Yes.
I got it on sale because it was like a lemon yellow. I think I got it maybe at Home Goods, and I knew I wasn't going to keep it that color, but it just didn't sell, I'm sure, because it was a ghastly color. And
ghastly, that's a good word.
It was. I mean, that's what
ghastly.
color. Yeah, it had to be ghastly because that's sort of the yellow.
Yeah.
And so I spray painted. So now it's up in the bedroom and it just works perfectly.
Oh, great. Well, I think something you said there is one of the keys to pull out of here. If you can have sconces on the wall, or you have some other lighting where you don't require table lamps on either side, that really frees you up a lot.
It does. And this was the first time we have ever had sconces.
And you know what I've seen? If you want the sconce, but you don't want the hole in the wall, I've seen people put shutters on either side of their bed and then bolt the sconces onto the shutters. See?
Well, there's only two little holes. I mean, it just hangs on this plate with
right,
two
but
little
some people
holes.
don't want to do that.
Oh,
so it's just another
easy.
option.
We put that's like nothing at my house. We put holes regularly in around our walls. And when like Bobby was hanging these drapes, and he put a hole that he didn't want there, and he just was like, he has spackle with him. So when he has to do anything that involves putting a hole in the wall, he carries spackle with him.
Wow.
Oh, well, he comes ready to work.
Oh, because I mean, it's just hey. Nails happen when you live, holes in the wall happen when you live life.
No. If I'm getting out anything like nails or stuff that has to be hung, suddenly there's a work emergency around here.
Ding, ding.
So
work
anyway,
emergency.
Stuff goes wrong here too. But another idea for a little different thing by your beds is in Evie's room, I used to have demi-lune tables. And so really they were meant more for a hallway.
Now, they had just in case anybody doesn't.
Yeah, tell me what it is.
A demi-lune, demi, so like partial moon. So it's a kind of a half circle almost. It's not a full, it's not a complete half circle, but it's curved on the front and flat on the back.
Right. So it could go up against the wall. Doesn't take up a lot of room.
But it's a table, but it's not a traditional nightstand.
Right.
And the ones I had a shelf on the bottom and then the top. So not a lot of space, but you could definitely put a lamp there. You could definitely put your phone, your glasses, and then books on the bottom. And it was right. So we've switched it out. Evie now has some dressers on either side because she needed some more storage. So yeah, they were getting kind of messy with all the school books stacked up. So yeah, we changed it out.
I like the idea. Now let's go from not having enough wall to a lot of wall. I think you can put a desk beside your bed.
Right.
Or along just some kind of a surface, even, a sofa table, a hallway table, or a desk. And you can use that as a nightstand. And if you're using a desk, don't be afraid to put a chair there. I think that looks perfectly okay.
A chair instead for your nightstand.
No, well, yeah, I have that on my list too. But no, like up to your desk, so it's usable.
On the desk. Oh, yeah. I think that's a great idea. I mean, really, any kind of table, I think, is a great just to go there. In fact, what I have in our guest room is a small table. Have you seen those tables that are columns?
Oh, so just a column.
It's a column, but it's meant
and
to
you
be
put a
table.
surface over it. Yes.
Well, no, it comes with the top is probably 18 inches square. So it's meant to be a table. I mean, it's new. So, but it's a column. And then I have that by the bed. But the thing I do want to mention on using these unusual things for nightstands is you do have to be careful about the height of the bed, because now there's so many different heights of mattresses and mattress toppers and headboards. There seems to be a lot more variation in the height. So you want to really be careful that your nightstands look right with your bed. So you don't want something that's too short, that's overpowered by your bed, or perhaps too tall. So I
think too tall is the bigger sin, Anita. I think.
Well, with the taller beds,
unless it's a desk or
do
something
not
like
the
that.
shorter nightstands.
Or you don't
really
want
the
it
shorter ones
dwarfing it. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I think you want it within a range.
That it looks comfortable.
Yes.
Because really, isn't a nightstand all about just giving you comfort, a place for a lamp or a place to put things, or if you're like me, a place to put all your lotions and potions and things that you do before you go to bed?
Yeah, and you don't want to really be reaching up.
Right.
Right. So, and then if you have to reach too far down, that's bad too. So, I mean, and it's hard to give a range. You would say maybe 18 inches off the floor or something like that. But as Anita mentioned, there's so many different kinds of bed configurations now. There's not just the standard box spring and mattress on top of it. You might have a bed without a box spring. You might have a platform bed. You might have, something, a vintage bed that's
Memory
higher.
foam.
So you really have to sort of eyeball it yourself. Another thought, which would not be a traditional nightstand, is how about a set of nesting tables? Then if you have a chair maybe on the other side of your room, but maybe not room to have a dedicated table over there, then you could always take the smaller or the medium size of the nesting and move it over there. I recently spent time in my bedroom during the day, which is so weird for me. We were having.
What were you doing in there?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I was working. What a surprise. But,
Okay.
Yeah, were having some filming at the house, but they only were using the outside and the kitchen. And I thought, well, I'm just going to hang out at home, but usually I'm in the kitchen or outside in the barn and when I'm working. And so I was sitting in my bedroom and it was delightful. I was sitting on that chair I got from the Restoration Hardware warehouse sale, which I really never, very comfy as well as lovely chair. And I did that. I pulled up my nightstand, which for me on my side is a little vintage stool. It was actually the first antique my mom ever bought, and she gave it to me.
Oh, sweet.
And it's so darling. And so it's this very little stool. I mean, I don't even know if it was really a stool. It might have been like a plant stand, like a short plant stand, because it doesn't look very sturdy. Like maybe little Miss Muffet could sit on it, but not like a normal sized person. And I brought that over. And so I had all the things I would have at night on it. I was on it, my phone, my glass of water, and, my glasses. And then I sat on my chair and I had my computer and I was doing my work, and it was really, really nice. And then when I was done, I put that my little nightstand back where it goes.
Oh,
and that's what I
idea.
use on our side. So I, just recently had that experience of multitasking my nightstand. So I thought, well, gosh, if it was a nesting, that would really even be smarter.
Yeah.
So, and there are a lot of really slim profile nesting tables. I've seen a ton on Amazon because I was doing nesting tables for a couple of clients recently who had moved to smaller spaces. So we were using furniture that you could really repurpose, and nesting tables are great for that. So just to finish out on what my nightstand situation is I have my little stool, as I just explained. Our bed has to be kind of up against the side wall, which is not a whole wall. It's kind of
and you've got an older house, so your bedroom's not really large.
No, my bedroom is not very large. People can make bedrooms now if they're building a house. And we took part of the entryway. It had sort of this wasted entry area. And he had some gigantic pieces of furniture in there. And we moved the doorway over and we closed the original doorway off and made that a walk-in closet for Peter and I. So,
is your bedroom downstairs?
No, it's upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just this weird sort of not big enough to be considered a room, but sort of this foyer almost to go into the bedroom the way it was configured in the house originally. And he had a giant armoire in there and another dresser. And it was just, I was not going to keep an armoire and dresser. If you opened the drawers, you were back in the hallway kind of thing. So it was so silly, but I'm getting far afield of nightstand. So I'll just tell you, we moved the door over, and hence moving the door over meant now that the bed had to be pushed over as far as possible. And so, but there's a wall that maybe juts out, maybe 3 feet. And then you can get off the bed, and then there's additional room there where you can walk around the bed and all that. But there's just this 2.5 to 3 feet that sort of juts out on Peter's side. And so he was not going to even be able to be gifted with a garden stool. He would have nothing, right? So what I did was I went into the studs. So now he has 3 shelves within the studs, which is his nightstand. So, and he has a plug in the bottom shelf that you can't see. So he can plug in his phone, and he has his Apple Watch, and he can plug the charger in for that. And then his glass of water, and he's good to go.
Wow.
So that's an option. Go into the wall.
Very creative solution. I love that you went into the wall like that and just put that shelf right in the wall.
Yeah. And when you do it, when you go into studs, I mean, my house is older, but this was an area that we had to kind of redo a little bit. So I don't think I think it's now the way a house would normally be built these days, you're getting about 5 inches. So your shelf is about 5 inches wide, which is perfect.
It's just perfect for his needs. I want to sort of go back to where you're saying stacking tables. If you, my favorite ones are obviously acrylic because they don't take up visual space. So if you've got like a tighter area, and I have 3 stacking tables, or a group of 3 I'm not using, I may actually go down and grab those and see if they all together would work or one would work for Bobby.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy-to-reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health: potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
How about just using a chair? I love that look. So a chair set next to the bed, and you can put your things on. So if you don't, if you don't have a nightstand, or you want to save money, or you just love the look like I do, I love a wooden chair with a fabric seat. And there's no reason you just can't, except I would put, if you have a glass of water, I would maybe put that on the floor under the chair. But, that's a nice place to keep something. And you could even maybe put a little basket there too.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And, something else, speaking of stacking things, what we did at the mountain, because we were short on, we had to really be creative because we didn't have much furniture there when we were furnishing it, because we don't live there and it's a house that we rent out for vacation rentals. So I had bought a bunch of old vintage suitcases when I had the booth at Round Top that were left over. And so I stacked those up, and we use that as a nightstand. Now, they're not super flat because they are vintage. So although it looks really charming, you do have to be careful if you use something like this. I wouldn't want to put a glass of water or a glass of wine there or anything, because I'm sure it'd end up all over the floor. And I have another nightstand on the other side, which I have a lamp on, and somebody keeps moving it to the stack of suitcases. So I'm expecting that to topple over. It hasn't yet, but anyway, but that is a really cute look.
I have one word for you, sconces. What? I'm into sconces. Mm-hmm. Sconces.
Yeah, I can tell
you put them on your wall.
Yeah, but I have
to worry about that.
But I have to borrow Bobby to do it. See.
Oh no! They are.
See, I don't have someone who's going to do that.
How do you feel about the mountain?
No. Oh, yeah. When next time we come down to visit, he'll bring us a little toolbox.
Well, that would be great.
Wow.
Okay. How about using? This is such a cute idea. I've seen this on Pinterest, and I just when we were talking nightstands, I thought, I've got to add this, like a small ladder.
So cute.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Like in a boys' room, that is such an adorable idea. Or if you have more of a like chippy rustic bedroom, that would look so darling.
Now, are you talking about a step stool with the top or a ladder that leans against the wall?
No, like a step stool ladder.
Yeah,
and like a triangle with a flat surface on the top, and then a couple. I'm talking about the wooden ones, like an old wooden one you can get.
So here, if you wanted to be really creative, what you could do is take that and get maybe a 2 foot by 2 foot square piece of wood and nail it on so that you would have a little more surface to work with. So that's another option.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I saw that on a blog.
And then Kelly would spray paint it gold.
I would. No, unless it has a really nice wooden patina. But I did see that very look on a nice blog, and I'm going to link it in our show notes. It's the blog is called 12 on Main, and she did an adorable step stool nightstand, and on the other side,
and did she put something on it, or just use it as is?
I don't think she took your great idea, so maybe you want to go and leave her a comment and tell her to plop something on top. It'd be even better. But she has it. She may have something. It's hard to tell in the picture because it's straight on. But she's definitely got the 3 little steps being utilized. One has some books, and one has something else.
Here's another idea, because really it's all about something I think we talked about that's really about the right height on either side of your bed. What about a bar cart? Or really
safe. Did you hear me gasp? It was like, I love that idea.
I know. Yeah. Well, and but I love something with some shelves over there or some drawers. I mean, a beautiful table is great, but it really is nice if you can swing it, to have something with some drawers or space to put things. So the bar cart, you could put a stack of books down there. You could decorate it. It'd be really nice and practical.
And or I guess so many beautiful styles.
Or just bring that bar stocked with the bar cart stuff just right into your bedroom.
Yeah, roll it right up.
Well, and you could also put like baskets. If you don't have drawers, you can put some great baskets, maybe even some with lids.
That's a great idea.
That you can keep things in. Anita, I love that idea because I just, for some reason, love the shape and the structure of bar carts. I think they're so pretty. Beautiful. And I could just see one like the oval bar carts, you know what I'm saying, with the brushed gold and the mirrored tops. That would make a beautiful nightstand. How about, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and I've seen some beautiful, it just made me think of it, thinking about the bar carts. I've seen some beautiful metal trays on the stands. Or even a luggage rack with a tray on it.
I love that idea.
That's charming. And you can get a vintage luggage rack pretty inexpensively. I do like the idea of all of that. And I like the idea of having, a little visual noise, especially if you have a smaller room and there's some other things going on. But if you need some storage, using a unique nightstand is a way that you can get that. How about some of these poofs or larger ottomans that have storage that open up? There are so many of those on the market now. In fact, I'm looking at 2 that I just bought from Overstock.com, which just made me think of it. I have to put the little legs on that came with them. But I got a set of, there is a bench, it's tufted, and then it had 2 little baby ottomans with it. And and probably if I was going to use these as nightstands, I'd want them to be a little bit higher for the way my bed is, but they open and there's storage inside. So I purchased them, really for the idea of having some useful storage, but I can imagine that as a nightstand. And then for maybe you put in some sweaters that you wear twice a year when you go skiing or something like that. I wouldn't want it to be, keep my undies in there, and I need to go visit it every day, because maybe you want to put a tray on top of it, or maybe you want to put something that's a little bit more permanent on top of it. But if you only had to go in there every once in a while, it's giving you an opportunity to squirrel away some things that, you don't use all the time, but you definitely need to have.
Well, here's another thing. If you need more room and to like you said, squirrel things away, what about a pretty rolling file cabinet?
Wow.
They have those that are low.
And they actually come in some fun colors now.
Or you can, spray paint queen. You can spray paint them a fun color.
Yeah.
And those drawers would give you a lot of room. It would be like a tiny dresser to put things in. That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. And you could even spray paint it gold.
You could. You
can always spray paint gold.
I imagine a gold leaf file cabinet. Oh my goodness. But they're actually kind of really cute. And if you had a more a modern and streamlined bedroom, I think that could be really cute. Like imagining like if you did all white bedding, and then you maybe had like orange little 3-drawer file cabinets at the other side or something like that. That's so cute.
Yeah, I thought that would
I know we've talked about shelves, but have we talked about getting some corbels and kind of putting some pretty shelves on either side of the bed?
We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, I think you could get some vintage corbels, antique ones, or even something new and kind of clean lines. But I think that would be a wonderful thing. And then you can make it whatever size you want. If you're just a glasses and phone person, then it can be a small little shelf. But if you're a glass of water and a book and a this and a that, then you could get a much bigger shelf and kind of design it to whatever size you wanted.
And I'm just going to give a shout out to IKEA. I decided to do my office sort of with a budget in mind, and I love it. And I have these white floating shelves, and they really look nice. They look clean. They don't look cheap. And just like maybe 1 or 2 smaller floating shelves would be wonderful if you don't have like the floor space. That would be a good idea.
Right.
Or even if you like something a little more rustic, like you could attach wooden crates to the walls. And so the bottom of the wooden crate is on the wall. So it makes like a little shelf.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Have you thought about, this is the obvious one that we've just not mentioned, a big like laundry basket with a lid.
Yeah, I love that idea. You could stack baskets too. You could do the rectangular basket stacked.
You sure could.
But I love a big basket with a lid. I think you could probably find one that's a nice height that would work well.
And you could store extra pillows in it, an extra, blanket, things like that. And that would work really well in a guest room.
Yeah. And, if I'm thinking of the ones that I have, I think I got them years and years ago from Pottery Barn. We have 3 of them, various sizes around the house. And they have, the woven rattan wicker top. But you can get those wooden rounds at any hardware store. I know my Osh, that's Orchard Supply Hardware. They're all over California. I have purchased rounds for various little side tables that maybe had glass, but the glass got broken, or, when I bought it at a yard sale, it didn't have the glass or something like that. And I've purchased these rounds, and they come in various sizes. So you could actually do one of those baskets with one of these rounds. And I think you can get them, depending on the size, from like $14.99 up to like $25.99, something like that. And so then you would have a flat surface then to put your glass, or, something that you wouldn't want, falling, or you wouldn't want on the nubbiness of the rattan.
That's a very good idea.
Let me give a shout out. I sound like I was on a sort of like some spending spree, but I did buy something else the other day on Etsy.
Yes.
It's just overstock at Etsy. Mill Cottage. She is a girl in California. I can't remember her first name right now, but I bought these beautiful corbels from her to use in my living room, and she makes them herself. But they really have a vintage look to them. But because she makes them, I bet you could even ask someone like that, could you make them a little wider? These are pretty wide. Mm-hmm. You could definitely put a phone, but you'd have to be pretty exacting. You wouldn't want to be half asleep and throw something on a corbel. But, even if you put two of them next to each other, something like that. But I'll put the link to her Etsy shop in the show notes. They're absolutely beautiful, well made, really hefty. And it comes with a little, sort of routed out area in the back, so you could just put a nail and hang it on the wall.
But could you put the two of them together and put a plate of like glass over the top?
Sure.
Which may be a little bigger. Yeah. And then, those little, they're like those little rubbery round things that's you can press into the press on the glass on the back side so it doesn't slip around.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
That
would look so pretty.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
How about a trunk? How about using like a beautiful old trunk on the side of your bed? Now, some of them have a flat top, right, and that would be great if you could find like I have my dad's old original Army Air Corps.
Oh, you do?
His trunk. And it's just sitting, but I always thought I'd love to put legs on it and put some kind of a top on it and use that because it's so meaningful.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a great idea. There's so many interesting things that you can use. I mean, you just have to sort of think out of the box a little bit, right? So
yeah. And if you're listening and you have a great idea for us, hey, why don't you email us and include your idea in the email, and in our show notes, we'll include it in the show notes. So wouldn't that be fun? So just think, or if you've done something, take a picture and let us know. We just love hearing from you. And thank you so much for all the people who do write to us and share their ideas and their pictures. We really appreciate it.
Since Yvonne is saying all this right now, can we say what's been on our minds lately?
I think we can. Go ahead.
So what we want to do, you guys, is honor you with tip of the day. So, we've been tip of the day out, and we're not going to keep score anymore. We don't care who wins, because you're all the winners, and we all win when you share your tips with us. We've gotten so many great tips already. So I have some that I made note of as we go through and we do our listener questions. And I have mentioned quite a few already, but now that we're going to be doing listener tip of the day, we would love you to flood the inbox with all your great tips, and then we can share them with everyone. And if that's, so if you do submit a tip, please know we will be using it, and we will mention your first name and maybe last initial on the air. So if that's okay with you, and you would like to have your tip highlighted by one of us on an episode of Decorating Tips and Tricks, please email us at decoratingtipsandtricks@gmail.com, and we anxiously await all your fabulous information.
Be sure and put tip of the day in the subject line, please.
Oh, that's a great idea. And we just we so appreciate every email that we get from you, and thank you. And also in the show notes, you can see where you can sign up for our newsletter, so you don't want to miss any episode of DTT. Right. That's it for today. I've gotten a lot of ideas, and actually I'm going to go down and get my acrylic nesting tables and see that it works. So thank you, girls, for the idea. And we just are so happy that you're listening. Remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey, everybody, we want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.